Hello, thank you all for coming. As she appears. And who asks after a woman alone in the forest? And to bring the origins of language and set them on the table, cleared of dishes, and to become heavy with the accumulation of texts. And who listens when she speaks? And what is her color story? And how many shades of red does a woman bleed each month? The uses of passion and her arrival as a blade. And what is the indigenous history of the land and its names? She sits in the field at dusk as fireflies flare and rise. And will the witches let her in? And how to correct and how to reinvent? A woman in the wild and a wild woman. And by what means of initiation? And the angle of light as she walks into open water. And how much anger can a woman keep? And if her song is off key? The trees become caryatids. The women lift their leaves as she brings fire and smoke after years of care. So in my poems lately, I've been thinking a lot about where we are and the state of being, especially for women of color and other vulnerable people, and kind of our day-to-day lives in this period of shock and wanting to act and wanting to hold on to each other and kind of seeing the connections in everything. So I feel very lucky to be here at Headlands in this beautiful natural space as a place to reflect and explore and gather with others in thinking through my work and what it means to be. So this next poem is called Dear Blank Page, and it braids together this idea of shock in nature and also on a personal level. Dear Blank Page, what do you know about the tree who made you? If I were a bird, I'd stammer in the sky, long dresses, tea time, liminal, adjective, one, of, relating to, or situated at a sensory threshold. After sewing the petals one by one, I meant to let go of beauty until I walked into a spectrum of green. Old growth forest, primary forest, virgin forest, primeval forest, where winter feels like summer, and what will come to pass in the study of wild immunity. New architecture creeps into the fallen trees. I visit the ocean like a lover, yielding to her surrounding. Two, barely perceptible or capable of eliciting a response. Plant more milkweed for the butterfly. An electroshock to the river provides 1 minute of paralysis to measure the floating fish. A pile of branches like the rehearsal of a tree. Three, of, relating to, or being an intermediate state, phase, or condition. Each line becomes a step to a shoreline, an admission loosened like a bird. The sound of a door opening. The ash tree sketches itself every morning. I can't look at the water without remembering her absence. Four, in between, transitional. If you can't turn on the light, it's a dream. Someone says, shock is over. The bird's heartbeat in my hand. We can hear tree rings rendered as sound. What remains? Drop tail feathers, lifeboats, sea in the desert. This next poem is inspired by the great poet Jericho Brown, who recently released his latest book called The Tradition. And it uses a duplex form, which is a form he created, which is a 14-line poem in which pairs of lines repeat with slight modifications. This is called Refrain. My heart sleeps while light lies in its envelope. If I startle, I dig into my retreat. I mean, I choose myself. Some can only love once. How true will it be? I love sequins, but I get the sequence confused. To once love, I found my dearest friend, so now every face grows stranger. Stranger, speak to me like light through a veil. Like a spent match, she turns to look for me, and I fade at what's unsaid. A sequoia has every vowel like a closed hand. When I've worn my body down from dancing, I still point to the sky. I will honor my body, my only body, its honor, my will. And I'll close with this poem, For the Living in the New World. There are so many ways to walk through a forest, through clover clusters, along a boardwalk lined with skunk cabbages, to a field where we listen to a ghost of song. The hypergreen we step through is the opposite of Los Angeles on fire. Any tree can become a ladder. These trees have too many branches, but it is not my place to revise them. I may be happiest improvising the language a body can make on a dance floor. We are just learning how female birds sing in the tropics. Spring insists we can build the world around us again. How has love brought you here? My head is heavy from the crown. We dream or don't dream and sing in different keys. Don't go down the river without looking back. There is ocean in that tree. Thank you.